self-publishing, you start by writing. First thing you gotta do is have something you wanna publish. Whether it's a cookbook, a novel, a short story collection, a children's book, a series of photographs with poems. Any of these can be self-published. I mean, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. But you gotta write something. You gotta have something to do. And then, well, chances are that's your first draft, and it's crap. I hate to tell you this, first drafts are always crap. No matter what your mom tells you, no matter what your husband thinks, it is not as good as you want it to be. Now, here's the thing, you know it. You are writing, you are drawing, whatever you're doing it because you have good taste and you know what your stuff is. So you go back to the drawing board, you rewrite it. You probably rewrite it 3 or 4 times. You'll probably put it away in your closet for 6 months to a year to 5 to 10, whatever. And then you take it back out one day and go, this is actually better than I remember it. Now, everybody's process is different. So if I'm not talking about what you do, understand this is, Tanya wrote her book. She wrote her book originally, 10 years ago?
A little longer than that, yeah.
As a collection of short stories to be published in a newsletter. And then she decided, you know what, these are good enough, I'm going to put them into one book. And then she thought, wait, that book's too short. So she wrote a second one and added it to the first. And then she continued writing, kept writing. And then we played a game based in this world on the book, and it turned out to rework the entire framework of her book. The main villain was no longer a villain.
That was really irritating. I gotta tell you.
As I sit here looking at the Shomru on your computer.
Yes. I love him best.
But she had expected in this game for one of the characters who was in it to get trapped in this other world and become the Shadow Queen. She didn't get trapped in the other world in this game, and
I blame him.
It probably is my fault. I did go, she doesn't have to do that.
See, and people give you.
Should have read the Evil Empress list.
So she rewrote it, and I gotta tell you, it's better. It turned out by taking out that person, it's better. You have a question?
Yeah, even this is my young fan fiction. There's some aspects I thought, I'm going to change it. Actually, I want to just shave off some Mary Sue points of some of the characters.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I just put these other aspects in the country, the original characters, and suddenly I thought, hey, this is much better. I'm just put a whole new aspect in the plot of the character.
Right, and that happens every time.
Yep.
Now, unfortunately, this process is known as editing. And you're not going to catch things in your book because you are so close to it. I'll tell you right now, I started off, when I first read it, I helped her edit it, and I caught a lot of things that she missed. For example, swearing. In an alternate world, if you don't have Christianity, nobody's going to say, oh my God.
Yeah.
Especially if in your world the religion that is predominant has decided that God made the world and then had better things to do, so he's left the angels in charge.
Oh, you gods.
Yeah.
So,
well, not quite, but yeah.
So if God's not actually something that ever comes up in conversation, that's not going to be a swear word. I caught 57 of them in her book.
That was an interesting thing to have pointed out. Yeah.
Tourette's.
But by the 5th time I went through and edited her book, I was missing stuff. In the first edition copy, we have 2 editions now. In first edition, I didn't catch that one of the characters is mentioned, she's a virgin in the beginning. In the middle, she's no longer a virgin. And at the end, she's a virgin again.
Hallelujah.
It was pretty amazing. But,
Actually, it was really easy.
yeah. But,
I had no trouble with it at all.
But one person who bought the book and read it and was a good friend of ours goes, hey, you missed this. I went, yeah, we did.
Yeah, that's kind of embarrassing. Very much. We're gonna stop talking to you now.
So what you need to find is somebody who's not you, who's not your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, mother, father, sister, brother. has no connection to you, preferably, or is willing to not worry about your feelings and wants to make you a better writer.
Unfortunately, I have no friends or family.
That makes it tough.
I try to develop a multiple personality disorder, but that is more
So, once you found that person who's going to tell you the actual truth, like, where'd she miss her eye? Why is she suddenly losing her eye? Or where'd that third hand come from so that she could throw a dagger and hold two weapons at the same time?
Yeah, where'd the snake come from?
These are all things I've read and have pointed out to people. Once you find that person, you get your book to where you're happy with it. This person's happy with it. People, you're feeling pretty good, but you're not getting the calls back on the submissions. You decide, you know what, I don't even want to try it. I've heard a lot of good things about self-publishing, and you decide to go for it from there. The next thing you're going to do is try to figure out what you have to do.
Right. So that's what this panel's all about.
Formatting is the first thing you're going to see. You have to get your book formatted to be the right format. And I'm not just talking Word document versus PDF versus whatever special proprietary software you've got. Make sure it's the right dimensions. It's got the right bleed. It's got so much stuff. Cover art. Do you know somebody who's a good artist? Do you have access to free images that you can actually put in a commercial document?
Photographs can't be copyrighted, just so you know.
No, but the person whose photograph it is can come back and yell at you a lot.
But they can't really do anything about it.
Yes.
But they can blacklist you.
I'm actually an art major, and there has been issues of photographs being copyrighted. If you have someone that's done stock photography, that's a different matter. You can purchase the stock photography from companies that make stock photography. But if there's an existing photograph that has a copyright, then you can end it in court. So you have to be very careful.
Well, that's like if you're taking like a picture of a movie or.
No.
Sometimes it isn't.
I can come after
People
you if you took a picture of me and I didn't give you authority to use my image in your book. I can come after you.
I was thinking like pictures of animals.
Same thing. If I took a picture of an animal, it's my picture. It's my intellectual property.
Yeah. There's right now on my Facebook, someone did and it's just circulating around Facebook, of a picture of some trees, and the branches kind of look like a female face. And it's like, this is really cool. Where did this come from? No idea.
Well, I copyrighted my book on the government's copyright page, though. It said it said specifically in the photographs. No.
Well, sometimes people will make something that looks like a photograph, but they've actually.
Oh, that's
created it.
completely different.
But you don't know that
Right.
from
And
looking
if you
at
find it online, it's not yours. Don't use it unless it specifically says you can use this image. And make
Royalty
sure
free.
for commercial use.
Now that's another thing. Okay, you take this photo, you use it for your science project. You take this photo, you use it for your research project. You turn it at school, anything like that, that's not the same. This is a thing that you are charging money for yourself.
Because so basically, that means you are making money off their work.
Right.
And all
that
you need to do is
illegal.
make enough money off their work and they'll find you.
Another note on similar vein, fonts.
Yeah.
The font on this picture is somebody's work.
Believe it or not, yeah. Like you get these fonts online, you can look them up. And
The
these
fonts
are,
on this page is somebody's work.
This
Now
is
you'll
not
notice
the-
this is different than this. That's actually an error that we meant to have corrected and sent the wrong file to the printer too late to do anything about it. This one was free. It said it was free online. It looked good. And then we started digging into it a little bit and discovered free for personal use, not commercial use. And
that's fine print you need to look for.
yeah.
In all cases.
Unfortunately, the guy never got back to me to how much he was going to charge me for this, so I still don't know.
But
I'm
we did
not-
contact him
I-
and he did say how many
I
words
did
he-
my best. If he never contacts me again, that's fine. If he does, I'll pay him.
But regardless, we changed our font.
We
because
changed our
didn't
font.
Run that risk.
And this is one that I paid for. You can buy 10,000 fonts for 20 bucks that say you can use these fonts for anything you want to, including commercial use, as long as you don't change them and call them your own.
very important, okay?
That's
One-
$20 I've spent.
You're a famous author now, right?
No, but thank you.
Because I was thinking, hello, eBay.
Yeah, really, you should totally.
Flaws and
Oh.
always were.
Oh, and this one's got tons of them. That's the first thing
Thanks,
you're gonna find.
thanks lots. Really
Hey,
appreciate it.
all of them are my fault.
Not all of them, but.
Enough of them.
But-
For example, page numbers.
There are no page numbers.
I talked formatting. Make sure that the page numbers go through on every single page. Because we have
I have several books with none.
page 1. I can tell you what
Yeah.
page 1 is. It says so.
After that, you gotta count on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, something I want to talk to you about.
Is there a preferred place for the page number? Does it have to be like right in the center, or can it be like in a?
No, actually, that is an option of
It's-
you. That's definitely your choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
These ones here, the one on this, the single one on this, was up here in the corner. But when I rewrote it, one of the things I did, because I was having trouble with it going up at the header, is I put it at the footer, and I didn't have another problem with it. So I went, okay, clearly this one wants to be in the foot. But there are a lot of books that have them somewhere else, like maybe in the middle of the bottom.
Yeah. I've seen them in so many places.
Yeah, but that's definitely a choice that you have, that you get to do.
Uh-huh.
Now see, this one here, you've got the page numbers all on the right, whether it's a one on the left or one on the right. That would be a formatting issue. So, here's something
That's
I'm
another
gonna,
bonus. You can ignore that sort of thing if you care, if you don't care.
right. One of
the
the,
reading
one of the nice things about this without page numbers is that it is not a reference book, so nobody needs to know what page number something's on.
Unfortunately, I can't ask you what page are you on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was just curious, where's the line as far as fan fiction or fan art or whatever?
If you are using something that was created by somebody else and has a copyrighted name,
So, like, if you were to go off of it, you can tell that it's not theirs, that it's based off of their ideas, and you're using it.
If you're using, say, for example, you're doing a work of art based on Final Fantasy X,
yeah.
You were to draw, say, Cloud.
and you were to draw Cloud or
Cloud.
name Cloud in there somewhere, yeah,
That is now
Well,
fan fiction.
that'd be 7, but yeah. That's now fan fiction. You can't make it for money.
Now, if you're
What if
referencing
what if your character is playing Final Fantasy? and-
something like
That's a
that where you
different
want
dog.
to reference
Yeah.
it, that's fine.
But could you use that in a portfolio, or would that be kind of?
Yeah, I mean,
If
if
you're
you
not
were-
making money off of it, sure.
Yeah.
That's why you have to do those disclaimers and stuff.
What was that?
What if we use one of the Microsoft fonts, like Microsoft Word's fonts?
The Microsoft fonts are fine, but let me tell you
They're all
something.
reused.
Let me explain something about branding. Everybody, especially if you're going to do a series, you need to brand it. You need to have a signature font for it that you use throughout that series. All you have to do is see that HP with the jagged lightning bolt, you know you're looking at a Harry Potter. Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, everything is
Dresden
branded.
files,
The
those
Dresden
block
file.
letters.
Yes.
You see that? You know what
All
it
of
is.
those, so when you do your book, you want to brand it. You want to come up with a font that's yours that you will use throughout all of the series.
Yeah.
This is a very
The
important thing.
Microsoft ones are great for the interior, but find one that's unique
You need something for you.
and
Yes.
readable.
Well, there's kind of a loophole in regards to the whole Final Fantasy thing called satire.
Satire is a different dog. Satire is,
Barry Trotter, the author, as parody.
Yeah.
yes.
In order to have something be unique, it must be 25% different. This book here, I wrote it. I wrote this one too. In fact, I use the same picture at the back for it about the author. But this one is the second edition because I changed more than 25% of it. All right? Everything that you do, in fact, when they were talking about the fonts, when you change a font, all you have to do is change it 25%, and now you've altered this thing. But 25% is significant. It's not a little bit.
Generally speaking, if you're working with somebody else's work, get their permission.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're second.
Yeah, don't-
Weird Al asks every single artist, can I do a parody of this work? He doesn't have to. He is not required to get their permission to do it.
Coolio.
Coolio, he asked, he gave permission, Coolio took it back. But he still asks, and the reason for that is it's polite. It saves you from any potential litigation that might come up. ask permission, yes.
So is it just one of the cases if you can't find the author anymore, just don't use it? Or?
Yeah,
If it's an actual-
honestly, I wouldn't.
Yeah, if it's an author, okay, for example, we know a woman who wrote a book. And after this other author died, the similarities that came out between his book and her book were so great that it's being seen as potential plagiarism because she stole his work was published first. And not like just a little first, back in the 80s first. So, yes?
And remember, you just can't think if they're dead, you can go ahead and do stuff because
Right.
the estate of Victor Hugo told the people who wrote the book Cosette, stop.
Right.
And they did.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to remember the name of the movie. There's we have somebody sings the blues.
Yeah,
Blues.
Lady Sings the Blues. Something like that.
Well, this movie was done by a gal. It's taking a few Indian stories of one wife and how she's dealt with some of the things that happened to her because her husband was a god, but he didn't really treat her that well. He was also doing parallels to stuff that was happening with her boyfriend on. He moved to India and got really cold on her. Well, as part of that, she wanted to use some of the really old 1920s style singing. She found video archive and sound archives of some beautiful old style songs, right? She searched and searched for the people who had the rights to that. Couldn't find them and made the mistake of saying, well, if I can't find them, obviously I can use them. The instant that she started charging for her film, they went after her. And it
Right.
cost her over $100,000.
Exactly. Use your own work or get permission. Period.
Yeah. Just don't risk it. Yeah.
Yeah. She would have been
Don't risk it, yeah. Don't risk it.
Another thing is like copyright wears off after like 100 years or something.
Sure,
Or something.
That's why
but
they were able to create like Wicked and
Right.
some other things that.
and copyrights do, but
But probably not in your lifetime, so
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know.
worry about
can be
that.
It's really old.
they can be
but it's like
renewed,
you can
and
draw.
there's so much to them. Get permission. I don't care what you're doing. Get permission.
Yeah.
I think some famous authors' families own like half their books or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said again, Victor
The
Hugo's
estate.
family said,
In this
Stop.
book, I mentioned a bunch of stuff that's used in anime,
will
but
renew it even if the
Yeah.
person dies.
So I think we're getting a little bit off topic.
Yeah.
But I think it's still a great discussion and important points to make.